Hello, I'm Patrick Lacefield, Director of Montgomery County's Office of Public Information. Welcome to this edition of Police Beat. Joining me is Montgomery County Police Chief Tom Manger. I think most everyone saw some of the coverage of the riots in Baltimore recently relating to the Freddie Gray case. I know that Montgomery County was asked by Baltimore for assistance. Can you talk a little bit about what kind of assistance we gave them and what your officers encountered? How were they deployed?
Well, they did ask for our assistance. In fact, they asked for assistance from police departments around the state, and we supplied our members of our special events response team. These are officers that are specially trained to deal with demonstrations and large events. And we had folks up there for 7 out of 8 days that they had demonstrations up in the city. So we, in the first couple of days when it was at its most volatile, the Montgomery County folks, along with some folks from Prince George's and a couple other areas, were with the Baltimore Police Department right there at Ground Zero. It was north in Pennsylvania where the CVS was that was burned down. I mean, we were there, and we had to take our orders from the Baltimore Police Department, and they wanted to handle things in a certain way, and not necessarily the approach we may have taken. But, and in fact, if you talk to the commissioner, Kevin Davis, the current commissioner, he would tell you that his folks were not as prepared as they should have been for what was going to happen. So our folks were up there and dealing with a very challenging situation, but I was very proud of our response and proud of the way that we dealt with the community there. Our folks understood the issue, they understood the anger in the community, and they understood how to diffuse that, de-escalate it, and allow folks to protest lawfully and peacefully. And when things did get out of hand, we took appropriate action to calm things down again.
Now, really looking at this issue a little more broadly, this has become a national debate. And one of the ways in which it's been posed has been two sets of competing slogans, if you will. Black Lives Matter versus All Lives Matter. How do you reflect on those slogans?
Well, one of the things that I tell my cops is that you have to understand that even though, the folks that are wearing, this badge now weren't part of policing in the 50s and the 60s, the fact is that the police were not always on the right side of history. I mean, you can look back and see photos of the way police used to handle demonstrations, especially in the South when you had African American, right, exactly, and where you see police dogs, they're using police dogs as crowd control to and biting people and chasing folks, and just the tactics that they used, and so cops now need to understand that police haven't always been on the right side of history on some of these issues. So you fast forward certainly to today, and I think that most police departments have certainly got the right approach. We understand that people's rights and that they have a right to free speech and to demonstrate, and so I think our approach is much more learned and legal and fair and well-intentioned today. So when folks talk about Black Lives Matter, what I'm telling my cops is this is not necessarily an anti-police slogan. Now, perhaps for some it is, but this whole notion of Black Lives Matter, I think, is a statement by the African American community that Black lives haven't always mattered. And I can tell you, again, reflecting back to the 60s and even in the 70s, when an African American individual was a victim of a crime, or a kid ran away, or someone was killed, it was looked at differently and in some cases handled differently than it would be today.
So there was a difference based on race.
I think that I use the example when you have a 14-year-old young girl run away from home from an area where there's poverty, and she's Latino or African American, and back in the 60s that they'd have written a report, who knows what follow-up would have been done. If it was a 14-year-old Caucasian girl from a nice neighborhood that was missing, my gosh, they'd have neighbors out looking.
Turn the city upside down.
Yeah, and so things have changed and improved a great deal, but Black lives haven't always mattered as much as others, and throughout history. And I think that is more of a statement to demonstrate folks feelings about, in that regard, rather than perhaps, listen, for some it is what's going on today as well. And but I think everybody would agree all lives do matter. But Black lives matter, blue lives matter, all lives matter. But depending on what someone's individual focus is, what someone cares about individually, they certainly have a right to say what they want.
And how do you work this sort of understanding about the complexities into your training, for example?
Well, that's a great question, and really we focus it. We do that training for everybody, but the ones we really get the most of it are the 240 officers that are part of our special events response team. What you want is cops that can be in the most challenging situation where they're being, having rocks thrown at them, being taunted, being challenged, being, baited,
and take it
and react appropriately. And so these are the folks that and we literally practice. We get members of the public that come in and role play with us, and they're screaming and hollering. And now we don't throw real bricks, but we have cardboard bricks that that are being thrown at them. So we train in the tactics and the response. And these are the folks that when you have a large demonstration, and if it's peaceful, that's great. We have all the crowd control techniques and a lot of the other things associated with handling a large event down. But when it gets ugly, when you get folks that start acting unlawfully, these are the cops you want handling that, because they know how to do it and do it well.
Now, we have a great police department, but I've heard you say on a number of occasions that no matter how good your police department is and how well trained it is, and what kind of community you're in, anywhere from coast to coast, you could be one incident away from a problem. What do you mean by that?
Well, we go out every day and we're doing community outreach. We're trying to build the trust and confidence of the community. But if you have one bad shooting, and let's say we have some young person that's shot and killed by police, and it turns out they're unarmed, I can tell you that no matter what the circumstances, no matter what the explanation that we might have as a result of investigation, there's going to be folks that say, you know what, that was a young person who was unarmed, they should not have been killed. And they'll never be convinced that there could be any circumstances that would have justified what the police did. And so you've got, I think, a fair number of folks in any community that would be ready to be very angry and about an incident like that. And with the climate that we're dealing with post-Ferguson, I can tell you that there'll be a lot of momentum. And believe me, I'm not one of these police chiefs that blame stuff on the media, but I got to tell you, the media is eating this stuff up. When you see, you have a shooting in some city and you're watching it on CNN be hashed and rehashed for 2, 3, 4 days in a row, basically until the next incident happens. Clearly, it's getting the attention of the public and it's getting the ratings for the media, and so it's believe me, police officers are feeling defensive. As much as I try to convince them that they don't need to, that they just need to do their job the best they can, that I understand they have a challenging job. Most of the public understands they have a challenging job. But I do believe that any community might just be that one bad incident away from being on the defensive and having to deal with demonstrations and a very vocal community that is not pleased with what they saw from their police department.
Now, one of the ways that you try and build that community trust, I know, is with liaison committees. You have liaison committees for various sections of the county, various groups. I mean, what do you want out of those groups?
Well, I want them to know that the police department's listening to them. Right. I want them to be able to come to us with any complaints, any issues, any questions that they might have, and get a straight answer and get action from the police department. I've got an African American liaison group, got two Latino groups that I meet with, and meet with them every month. We actually had additional outreach. We do additional outreach in the Muslim community, the Asian community, And the issues are different for different communities. They're different, you know, from a homeowners association in Bethesda has different issues than when I go down to talk to a CASA meeting, at a CASA meeting down in Long Branch. Completely different interests, different issues. So we've got to do that outreach. People have to know that their police department's listening. They got to know that their police department is making well-intentioned decisions for their community.
Right. Now, one of the issues that of course involves a question of trust is a question of immigration policy. And the county has been through that for a number of years. You know, we pride ourselves on our diversity, and yet there are laws, and there is a division between the federal government and local authorities. How have we worked that out over the period of time that we figured out what must be done vis-a-vis federal law and what the responsibility of local jurisdictions are?
Well, I think that one of the things I'm very proud of with Montgomery County and working with the county executive and the county council, I mean, this county does realize that there's middle ground. I mean, you've got folks on the extremes on both sides of this issue. You know, the one extreme, you know, everybody should be deported. You know, the other extreme is that, you know, everyone should just be not.
It shouldn't matter at all.
Everybody, right? And there is middle ground. I mean, what I care about and what I've cared about the entire time I've been chief here is the safety of our communities. And frankly, if you've got someone who is here undocumented and they're working, you know, 2-3 jobs trying to make a better life for their family, and they've never committed a crime in Montgomery County. Yes, you know, they committed a crime when they came into the country unlawfully. It's a federal offense, nothing I can do anything about, but they're not committing crimes in our community. I'm less concerned, much less concerned about that, you know, dealing with that individual than the gangbanger who's committing armed robberies. And then when we arrest that individual for those armed robberies and we find out that that they're here undocumented, absolutely I'm working with ICE to you know, once that person serves their sentence for whatever they've done here, if they're deported, you know, and I know everybody doesn't agree with me, but if they're deported, frankly, our community is safer. So there is that middle ground. We have always, in Montgomery County, we've done what the law has us do. And unfortunately, because of federal court decisions, that's been a moving target. But we've not changed our policy. We don't ask people about their immigration status, but if ICE wants someone and they've been convicted of a crime, and they say, hey, is Joe Smith in your jail? We will tell them that Joe Smith is in our jail, and we will let them know when Joe Smith's getting out of jail. And if ICE wants them, they can come down and get them. I think that's the right balance, you know, and I think it's working for Montgomery
For the
County.
people who are committing serious crime.
Exactly.
Thank you, Chief. I'm Patrick Lacefield with Montgomery County Police Chief Tom Manger. Thank you for watching us, and please join us again next time on Montgomery County Police Beat, when once again you'll get straight answers from the Chief about law enforcement issues impacting our county.
Your friends and family are getting emails from you that you didn't send. Or maybe you want to check your email, but wait, you can't log in. Sound familiar? Chances are your email's been hacked. Don't panic. The situation can be fixed. Start by updating or installing security software from a company you can trust, and set it to update automatically. Hackers often hijack accounts by infecting your computer with malware. So it's important to scan your computer first. Delete anything it identifies as suspicious and restart your computer. Now you're working with a clean slate. Next, if you can get into your account, change your password. If you use similar passwords for other accounts, change them too. Passwords are the keys that open your accounts. They have to be memorable for you, but hard for someone else to guess. Some people use software that manages passwords to help create strong passwords and keep track of them. If you can't get into your account, check with your email provider to find out how to restore it. Once you've got your account back, check your account settings to make sure no one added any links to your email signature and that your emails aren't being forwarded to someone else. Finally, let your family and friends know your email was hacked. Think of it as spreading good computer karma, and they may have some work to do too. Want to know more about protecting your email from hack attacks? Visit onguardonline.gov.